just here for a minute because I've got some very urgent knitting to finish. I've made a jumper and I'm making a scarf to match, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So before the winter ends, I'll be wearing it. I'm going to leave Keith in peace.
In peace, enjoying a bit of a little bit of video creation. Yeah. Right. See you later.
See you.
Right. Bernadette's gone to the snug, as we call it, a lovely little room for relaxing in and doing our hobbies. And she's going to continue with her knitting and crocheting. She's brilliant at that. You know, she's really good, and I'll put a link to her site in the description because she's got some fabulous creations. We're not selling, so it's not a push on things like that. We're not trying to sell things. We don't want to do that. But a site is full of wonderful things, and I don't think you'd be disappointed. Now, she'll go mad at me for saying this, but Bernadette is incredibly modest. She really is. We've both studied very hard in life and had good jobs, but her qualifications are incredible. I don't know anybody who's got more in all sorts of different fields. Unbelievable. She's got 3 separate degrees and loads of other teaching qualifications, assessing qualifications, ICT qualification, you name it. Absolutely crammed full, a CV is. It's stunning. And she's been very successful in what she's done, just like myself. You know, we've done well. And I know everything's a little bit of luck in life. It really is. And you know your health plays the priority, but if things work out for you, which we are so pleased it has for us in our life, we've had a great life together. We were definitely made for each other. We've had so many adventures and an enjoyment throughout our life. It's been brilliant. And you know, to have what we have now is superb. But we have worked very, very hard for it. There's no doubt at all. And like I said, we retired in 2013 to enjoy what we call leisurement. Anyway, that's going off the subject a bit. What I'd like to do now is go through something I did, and I'll explain the process. And let's say I hope you find it interesting. Totally different. But while we're not cruising, I thought this might be something what people might like watching and showing, that some solutions can be really, really good, but they don't follow the norm. Let's get on with it. One of the things what I know people get annoyed about, you know, your taps on your sinks or anything in worktops or anything, when they move easily, they get loose or anything. I've used over the years, I've used silicone and grips and everything, but sometimes it just moves depending on the design of the tap. Now, in the bathroom, which we'll show you, these taps, what we have, which we love, is an unusual design, and it has a piece what comes out in chrome, a 90-degree bend curve, which you'll see, with a thread on, and the tap goes into there. Now, they do move easily them if you knock them and that, and I thought, I certainly can come up with some other solution to this, certainly can. I decided to take everything to bits, and I got a collection of things what I thought would suit this setup I had an idea of doing. I've got a piece like a T-piece, but it's not a T because it was a bit bulky, but it's used on radiators. On the side, on some of the column radiators, they're the bigger radiators in chrome. I thought that'd look very neat. So I got a couple of them for each tap, and I got appropriate fittings, all chromed so it matches, and some chrome pipe, and I thought, yes, this will work, this. So in effect, I took everything to bits, as you can see in the video, took it all to pieces, and put all these bits all together using like a plumber's silicone, which is very good. It means you don't have to over tighten things because it sets quite nicely. Something called PTFE, which I've used for years, which is a decent PTFE as well. That's the tape what goes around your threads to help seal it, and a couple of other compression fittings. And the one in the middle, what I did, that's got an isolation cut-off valve in. And the idea with that one is if I have that turned off, the taps won't mix, the water won't mix with them, so they still work separate. And I think it proved to be very effective. So we're at the sink, and I've turned off the tap underneath, what with the little screwdriver slots. And then I check everything, that there's no water dribbling through. And then we're away to the work itself. To take the taps off first, one was a little bit tight, the other one just come off by hand easy enough, and I just took it off. And then I thought, well, I think we'll put a bit more force on the other one, being careful not to cause any damage, because they can you could cause some damage. But I just had the right kit, like I said, and I got the spanner out to just loosen it so that I can take it off. Once it's broken, how tight it is, once it gives, that's it, off it'll come. And that's what I did. Now when I do this and take these off, the one thing I'll do is dry everything as well, what's around, because there's one thing for certain, if you're using any sort of silicones or anything to seal things, if it's wet it's not good. Now this is from a radiator, what you'd put on a radiator valve, what I'm showing you. It's quite neat, and it's a 1/2 inch connections. It looks better than a T. Everything's in chrome here, and I put PTFE in on each of these fittings, what I have, because that's what is used to seal water, for those who don't know. So good quality PTFE, tighten everything in and make certain it's tight, using the appropriate fixtures and fittings and that, and then it's a case of putting it in to the little 90-degree bend where the thread is. If you notice, I don't have to use too many tools with this, because you've got the silicone sealant on and the PTFE, and it tightens, and most of it can be done by hand. The one thing what you must always do, I say, is when you've put each piece in, you wipe it clean so that nothing sets and causes problems later. So I'm always very careful to not leave any gunge on anything. Now this is the same format on the other one, exactly the same, and I use the plumber's, what I call the plumber's putty, but it's like a silicone, and it does set quite hard afterwards, and makes everything quite secure, and I'll guarantee it's leak proof. And it's exactly the same on the other tap, which is the cold one, this one. And I'll tighten it up exactly like the other. As you can see, as I'm using it, it's moving nice, not nice and easy, but it just moves easy enough, and that's what I want to avoid. Again, you'll see us like I've said, clean everything so there's nothing on there. But if it sets hard and you're roaming around afterwards, it's a bit of a pain, so do it as you go. And it always seems to work for me. Now there's what it looks like currently. I've got a few bits in pieces in place, and now I'm going to do the middle section where you can see the little gap here. That's the next piece, and this part is the one what's going to make the taps rigid and you don't normally see. This is a normal isolation socket, what's normally in line towards any sort of tap, and I've turned it off so no water can mix. The hot and cold can't mix, and any chance of backfilling and that. So I'm looking now to measure things up so that everything's centralised and looks right. It's easy enough for me, I've done this for years, so my eye's quite good and I can do that easily. And I just use a simple, what we call copper cutter, to cut to the appropriate lengths or length. And it's much better than cutting with an axe or that. So I start to put all the pieces together so that I can see it looks right, neat and tidy, and I don't tighten everything in place yet. I just keep making certain it's all what we call all right, because if you tighten up too early and you need to adjust your pipe work, you're in trouble. You'll have to use another piece. But here we are, all pieces going in, and it's like a jigsaw coming together in a very nice way. Yeah, it's all by eye these days as well. I do this. Tape measures are not used anymore because I've done it that many times. But as you can see now, it's looking quite good. And now is the time to tighten all those nuts, tighten them up so nothing moves, and obviously it will be waterproof then as well. I don't use anything but a smooth spanner, adjustable spanner, so that if you used anything else it could scratch and spoil the chrome, which is not what I want. And now we're on to the taps. Again, PTFE, plenty of PTFE, and what I call my plumber's putty or silicone type thing, and each tap will be placed in accordingly, and it's so easy. As long as you prepared it all right, like I said, minimal tools. See, that'll come up, you can see it starting to tighten now, and with that putty in place as well as the PTFE, that will be very rigid when it sets. It only takes an hour or so to set, and again, clean, clean, clean. I've done that all my life, cleaned as I've gone along, and it's paid dividends, definitely. Makes me laugh when I'm watching. It's just automatic pilot. Yeah, I love practical skills. It was very important for us to get practical skills when I was younger. And next goes in the next tap, the cold one, when I actually get the thread lined up, because you've got to make certain it goes in easy. Never force it or it can become cross-threaded, and that's no good. So you just let it go in gently, and it just feels right as I'm doing it. Yes, that's looking good. And again, wipe it all down, keep it clean. No scratches on anything. And it looks a business, that now. And there you have it. Once done, and it's all tightened up, it does not budge. I'll never have to touch that again. It's as solid as a rock, so I won't have to worry about, well, not worry, but have the mither of taps becoming loose again, because in that format they just never move again. And that's just a bit of my own innovation. I've never seen anybody else do it, but I thought I'll give it a go, and it's worked brilliantly. So I hope you found that quite interesting. Next time I want to show you some really good historic, some historic things, what I've got, because we may not be on the boat, but as people know, our passion and our love for canals and history holds no bounds. It's quite simple, and we're going to look forward to getting out on some cruising adventures, like I say, in spring. So that's it, done and dusted for now, and we'll see what next one turns out like. But for now, as usual, all I can say is ta-ra and keep safe.